nigga, come here. So here I am, this DTM. Get to see you again. It's been a while since I've gone online, and that's because I've been very busy. And you can catch up with all those things that I do by going to my Instagram, going to the rest of my Facebook timeline, and you'll see everything that's going on with me. Let me get out the frame for a second, and I can put that right there so I can see my screen, the screen that you guys can see. I'm forced to move the chair. There we go. Okay, I'm back. All right. So yes, it's like I said, I've been busy, but now it's time to go ahead and get to do some editing. We did some editing with we did production and editing for the Dish with the Doulas web live streaming series that was on Facebook Live or Facebook Premiere. And so now we're working with the Maddpenciler and the BlueLines project, and we produced it, recorded it at Cinamaker Studios in Buckhead using Cinamaker, and now I'm editing, and the editing that I'm doing is very minimal, and that's because using Cinamaker's helped me create and edit the show on the go, and then saving me a lot of time in post productions. There's 3 parts to a video production, and last part is post production, and that means that you got to bring in your lower thirds, your intro screens, things like that. And so those are the parts that if you also have to edit video, it adds a lot of extra time. And so I'm not going to edit the video. I like the way it is. There are some moments where we're lost, some moments where we lose our train of thought, and we have to compose ourselves. I'm going to keep them in there. I'm going to make sure that what we recorded is it stays as raw as possible, because we want to welcome you into the life of an artist, of a creative, and that would be the Maddpenciler and how his process. So let's go ahead and get started. And if you can see my screen, you can see I have Premiere open, and is a start screen. It shows me some of my latest projects. Let's see, BlueLines. Everything's been BlueLines. And then right down here is virtual camera, no text. That's for another company for videos for company app videos. This is for videos to show how the app works. There we go. And that was Cinamaker. So I did some Cinamaker videos also. We're gonna get back on that project later on this month or next month, because July is almost over. So BlueLines, a whole bunch of BlueLines here. I did an Artist King presentation at Microsoft Store, so there's that one right there. So it shows you the latest projects that you worked on. And so earlier an hour ago, I worked on the BlueLines project IG video. So hopefully the Maddpenciler will post that on his Instagram, and then let people come on to Facebook tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So here's episode 2. I'm going to click on that, and the Premiere, what it's doing now is using the file. There's a Premiere file that's really small, that is just enough data to tell Premiere, the program, what all it took to put together this video, where all the source files are, and where things should go on a timeline. And as you can see, here's the video. I'm scrubbing through the timeline, and these little mountains of data here, those are all the different lower thirds, intro cards, and we have, let me see, a couple of, and the sound's going to sound a little crazy because it's going to come out through my speaker and into the webcam, and then you'll hear it.
Please leave a comment, send us your questions, let us see your work. I am Double Tango Mike. We'll see you in a minute.
Oh, hey, I know you were standing there, but stay tuned for more BlueLines project with the Maddpenciler. Peace.
I didn't know you were standing there. So those are little extra cuts that we're adding, and then there goes the intro back into the show.
And we're back. We're here with the Maddpenciler. I know you're going to keep hearing me say the BlueLines project. You want to check out the Maddpenciler and his blue.
So as you can see, there's several layers of content here on the timeline, and I'm gonna zoom in so we can see what we're talking about. The bottom Miss Green is the audio for the music. Then is the audio for our words and the things that we're saying in the video. And then the first layer is going to include some of the video, which is on the right side. You can see I'm highlighting now. That's the video with the audio. And then to the left of it is going to be a piece of video that has no audio, but is really there to just bring the viewer back into focus into who we are. And then on the very left is just a blue. It's actually a blue graphic. Let me turn it off so then you can see that I have a setting on the video above it where you'll be able to see the blue coming through on the bottom. I got a message. I'm out with you. Okay. Hey, yes. Well, I'm gonna check those messages in a second. Thank you. I think that's Lorraine Pouchet. Thank you for reaching out. So on this middle part where it says graphic and it's in pink, that is where that blue is, where I turn it back on, and now you can see that the screen looks a little blue. And then the top blue line right there, the blue little rectangle, that is the actual video. And that audio came in separately. It's in a different color because I recorded the audio separately. And if you look really close at the Maddpenciler's chest, let me, there you go. Right before he raises his hands up. Come on, buddy. Here it is. There, that his T-shirt is a little bit pulled in because there's a microphone there. So I got a microphone hanging off his shirt, so the audio will come in clean, and I can hear his voice, and then it makes it for a better video. So the video, one part of the video is the visual, and it's through a smartphone, and the other part of the video is the audio, and it comes in through the lavalier microphone, and that lavalier microphone is connected to another smartphone, so that's where I capture all the audio, and then later I bring them in together and put them into the video. You want to avoid those situations as much as possible, but you need good audio, so you want to find a way to capture great audio while you're capturing the video, so it already matches up, and you don't have to spend time trying to match up the audio with the video and so on. It's not that hard. It's just time consuming. So anyway, that's what you see right here. And then right there, you see the BlueLines Projects logo and the text jump in, and that's where that little pink rectangle is, the longer one. And now you can still hear the music. And then, of course, there's the us. You can see us, and then the music comes in for the beginning of the segment, and then you can hear me talking. Lower third, right there's a lower third. That's Wayman, illustrator, digital artist, tattoo artist at the Maddpenciler. And then as we can continue talking, then I get my lower third so that you know who I am. So this is the little break in the between the segments, and we did that. Originally, there was a whole purpose for how we recorded these segments. And we wanted to do 3 segments per hour, 15-minute segments per each hour, and give or take a few minutes, just so that we could figure out, just so that we could create enough segments to add up to 42 minutes, in case we wanted to do commercial breaks and extra content, just like you would on a regular TV show. So we're kind of doing things for live streaming, we're doing things for YouTube, but we're keeping in mind that this content could then be later used for other purposes, and so we want to make sure that when we create the content, it's cut in a way that it can be used in any other ways, including just using 15-minute segments at a time and publishing like that. So if we were really smarter, then it would have been 10-minute segments. Yeah, that would have been 10-minute segments, so then we could have done the IGTV without having to do extra editing. But those are the little parts that you live and you learn, and you figure it out as you go along. So now let's look at, and I'm just doing a quick review about what we got here, and then what I'm going to do right here on live on Facebook. And as you're going to see, once I get going, there's really not that much work because I've already did all the hard work, which is this part that I'm showing you now. The hard work is putting in all these elements, all these orange, these pink and blue rectangles on the timeline, and they stand for something. All right, so here is a graphic. It says graphic, and it really just stands for a blue. It's a blue. Let me see, where is it? No, it's supposed to look blue, and it looks black, and it is black, huh? And oh yeah, I know why. Because this is where we give ourselves a couple of seconds for the video to begin, and then you can start seeing and hearing what's happening. So that way you don't jump into the action right away. Maybe I should put a logo here, but it's only going to be a couple of seconds. So I'm going to hit the space bar, or you can always hit the little play button there. Boom, and it starts to play. If you guys have questions, please ask me.
Shading a lot, and I think that's why I gravitated towards.
So I got a fade to black, which is really fading from black to the picture. I have a fade on that graphic also down below. So it takes, so that's the first thing that fades into blue, and then the video fades into that blue, and of course that sound is connected to the video. And as we go to the end of the story, so I want to start the video with some kind of content that grabs the attention right away and lets you know what you're here for to do. What are you here for? What are you here to do? Because a lot of times when we do the Facebook premiere, your first thing you're going to see is a notification that says, hey, Dan is live. Check it out. Check out the video, because Facebook wants to promote video content, which is why we use a lot of video content in promoting our brand. And Facebook is all about video right now. And so the first thing you're going to see in your notifications is Dan or the Maddpenciler is online. Go click to view. And so you don't know what it is that we're talking about. What is it about? Especially with us, you'll know that it's all about art, because I don't talk about anything else. But most of the time, when the friends in your timeline and people you're talking to that you follow, they could be out in the street, they could be out in the park, they could be sitting in their house talking about something. So when you click on and go to see their video, they might be trying to get it together, trying to figure out what's happening, and you're gonna have to give yourself a minute or two to see whether or not you want to stick around. If you're like me, you give yourself 5 to 10 seconds. You're like, yeah, this person doesn't have it together. They need to come to some Artist King meetup so they can get it together. So in our case, what I want to do is have a little story that the Maddpenciler tells about his career, his path as an artist, and then that grabs the attention right away. So now you know why you're here. What is it that you're going to be looking at, and what we're going to be talking about. So once we get that point across, boom, there goes the. So let me go ahead and show you.
This is the best thing since sliced bread, man. Yeah.
So now the show begins. There's an intro, at least an identification for what what you're looking at. So now you know, and then music, right? So now it gets you in that mood. And so of course we want energy. We want people to engage and feel like this is something that you want to watch. Kind of opposite of what I did starting this video. Yeah, that live stream. This is Facebook Live. So I just jumped on, and now you're seeing what I'm talking about. But with a content like this that you actually get to edit and build, you want to then bring the energy forward and get people excited about what's going to happen. Which brings up another point that I'm going to, something that I want to talk about. But I'm going to actually have a longer video about this later. It's about your music. Stop with that. I don't own the music. I don't own the rights to this music, or this is not my music. We know that it's not yours, and stop using it. If you're gonna start creating content for the internet, and you should, because that's what the whole Facebook and social media has become, is that we are content creators. As soon as you put something online, you've just created content. Now you're a content creator, and if you may not be the one who wants to monetize on that content, but Facebook will. Facebook wants to monetize on your content, and it cannot when you're using music that you don't own. And so then that's why it'll shut it down, cut it off, or delete it and say you can't use this video because it has music that you don't own and there's been a strike against you or something like that. So what you want to do is stop using music that's not yours. If there is music in the background and something that you're doing, well, you can't help certain things. But if you're going to be on purpose about your content and you want to share stuff with people, then pay attention to your music. Get you some music. There's a lot of Creative Commons copyright free music out there. And in the case of the Maddpenciler, well, he reached out to people he knows to make a deal on getting music that he has a right and a license to use in his show. So you want to find the music that's going to help you, and when you're posting and sharing, it doesn't get shut down. So, any case, that's my little spiel on that. I got much longer a piece to say about it. So, any case, here we go. We got the music. And as you can see, those pictures of us are starting to zoom in and zoom out. And there they are right there. There's the pictures. There's the image, image, image. And so I got a bunch of images in the timeline. So as we're as time moves across the timeline, you're able to see something different in the background. And I probably should turn down that Maddpenciler image once we get to that point, because it's okay that it's strong right there, but maybe we want to see more of that. I don't know. It's just a bunch of extra stuff. And then to end it, we fade out that the BlueLines project logo or the Maddpenciler logo, and then you can see me and Wayman at Cinamaker Studios. There it goes, boom. And so once we get to that point, and these you can see the little fade outs. These are little fade outs. Let's go ahead. Boom, right there. It says I need my glasses. Cross zoom, and basically you find those on the left where it says video transitions. There's a little window, and you want to set up your Premiere to work for you with the things that you want to do. And it says on the top there's a list of different workspaces that you can set up, and mine says editing, and that means that whatever I'm working on, I can select in my timeline and I can see my settings on the top left. And if I want to add little extra edits, I can find them on the bottom left, and that's on the effects window. And then of course we have our project window here and our video window on the top right. So video transitions, dissolve, there's cross dissolve, and then I can click and drag it and drop it right here to the end of this segment, and then it starts to fade. You see, there it goes, zooming out, and if I where is that zoom? This should be, I should have seen it here. I don't see my zoom, but if you'll see it in the scale, oh, I don't even know how I did that. I did something cool right there, and I forgot how I did it. So there it is. As soon as that top layer gets far to the right into that cross zoom, now you're seeing bits and pieces of the next video that's following, and bits and pieces of the image that's just finished. So it's cross zooming little by little, so then it kind of fades into the next one, and then there you are. And I could actually do a whole lot more if I had another cross zoom down there, but I'm not going to. So there it is. So now, bam.
Welcome to another episode of the BlueLines Project.
And as you can see, when I start talking, I'm already smiling. I'm looking right at the camera, and I'm trying to draw in the viewer, and that'll be you, into engaging with what's happening, right? So you got to have a little bit of a presence in front of the camera to pretend. You're pretending that you can see people and you're talking to them. And there it is. So that's what makes up the Maddpenciler's show. There are 3 segments, so there they are. That's one segment, that's another segment, and another. And I think here I've had to play with it because at some point we lost the camera. And so the great thing about Cinamaker is that there's one part where it records everything as you change camera angles, and that was the automatic save, and it's okay because we haven't started for the number 3. Anyways, so Cinamaker will record everything as you click on the different cameras so it's live edit. It edits live while you're there recording. You can edit at the same time. Then it also makes a video file for each camera, and it saves it all on the iPad. And so whenever there's a problem with some of that live edit video, you can bring in one of those camera videos and then drop it in and change what you're doing and what you're showing people. At the same time, if you're a Premiere person and you want to edit yourself, and then there are files already saved on the iPad for every project that you can then click on. It opens that Adobe Premiere and it puts everything on the timeline the way it was when it was first recorded. So it's real easy to get into post-production when you record with Cinamaker. In the meantime, let me go ahead and start working on this file. So let me go ahead and check our messages, and it looks like we're good. If you have a questions, please ask it. I'm showing you the things that I know how to do, and anything beyond this, I don't know, and I don't need it. That's why I don't know it. If I needed it, I would look it up. All right, let's see. So we're good to go. Thank you everybody who's been joining. Arthur the artist, Macarius Wright, thank you, sir. William, Lorraine Fouché, Rick Clear, and Marcelo. Anybody else is on, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this so far. We're in my home office right now. This is right here, a bunch of my notes and things that help me stay on track. I want to make sure that we are still live. Come on. Yep, we are. Okay, good. So, all right, so now, what am I going to do? So now I need to work on the next episode, and this is episode 2. We're publishing once a week on Monday, 7 o'clock at the Maddpenciler's page on Facebook. And so I need to create episode 3, or edit episode 3, and have it ready for Monday. Today is Sunday, so that's tomorrow. So right now, what I'm going to do is open episode 2. That's what we just looked at. And I'm going to get rid of some things. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go like that. And save it. Save as. And it's going to be called episode 3. Blue episode 3. I have a folder where I keep all the Premiere files together. And when I export that Premiere file video, it'll go into that same folder. So I know where things are and I know what I'm looking for. Thanks for sharing some knowledge. You're welcome, Macarius. Appreciate you, man. All right, so I'm renaming this episode 3, so that way any edits that I make and whatever goes on, it will reflect the new episode, and I still have episode 2 file in case I need to go back. I'm also gonna change the name on this timeline, and it's gonna be called episode 3. So let me. I forgot where do I change the name. Undock panel, come on, panel, work area, I forgot. Come on. All right, here, video. And then I have the projects, that's for number 3. That's episode 2. Is it here? Let me see if I change that. Episode 3, there it is. I changed it on my project files on the bottom left. It's another window. It has its own menu, and because I changed the overall Premiere project from episode 2 to episode 3, I went also inside the so that changed that project name right here on the left. And let's see if you can see me. Yeah, it's kind of there. You can see that. And then I changed that there on the left, and I looked for the file, so I changed that to number 3, and then it reflected the same name on the timeline. So now it's all together. So now it's all about Control S. Control S if you're on PC, Command S if you're on Mac. All right, you should always save it, even if this computer or Premiere is going to save on its own. I don't trust it. I need to do it myself. And this is a 32 gigs of RAM computer. It's pretty strong. It does what it needs to do, but at some times it starts to get really slow. So right now what I'm doing is I'm moving some of these segments to the right so I can have a lot of room right here in the middle, because that is where I am going to drop the new video. the new video being the first segment of the third episode. So now I go into my files. Before you start doing edits, and this is called the post-production, the pre-production, is what you want to do is start organizing your files. Start organizing all the things that you're going to use and where are those things going to be. I have a folder called the BlueLines project. Inside that folder, I have some Adobe Premiere stuff from the first episode when I was still figuring things out. I got some behind the scenes, some frame lapse stuff. I got some, that was one of the networks we were going to work with. I got some behind the scenes photos, right? So what we were recording in this series, we recorded all in one day, about 9 hours of work, 8 hours of recording. Then we got some good clean shots of behind the scenes. That way when we promote it and tell the world about what we're doing, kind of like right now, then we got some cool shots. There goes Matt, there goes Stephanie, and I think that's the other Stephanie. I want to say there goes Bernardo on the right, and then some clean shots with still showing that we are in a recording studio. We want some behind the scenes. We have some Cinamaker files. These are the original Cinamaker files. This is what I was telling you about. For each one of these folders, there's a video file for each camera, plus the audio file because we captured audio with microphones. So that's what we have in the Cinamaker files, and all this adds up. It's a ton of gigabytes on this here. There's nothing in there. I forget what was in there. This is some of the stuff that the Maddpenciler put into Google Drive. These are our notes. This is in the beginning when we first started the outlining the show, and this is some of the artwork that was created during the show. So I have it, and so I can drop it into the video whenever I want to. Here are some more photo files. I wonder what these came from. Huh? This is crazy. I don't know what this is. This looks like it's actually the real video. Let me click on that. What's there? That is 15 minutes, so that's it. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so these are some more. It says photo, but they're actually video files. Organization, right? And then some more pictures. These are the actual pictures that I took with my phone, or somebody took with my phone. That's why it looks like this. Come on, there it is. Oh yeah, I was sitting right here taking pictures. There you go. That's Lauren, and that's Stephanie, and then the Maddpenciler. All right. Another message. I'll get to it. Where is it? Oh, right over there. Okay. Premiere files. So this is where I saved some more Premiere files, but I'm not using that folder for that now. Some promo videos we created so that I can drop them into the video in its different parts of the between segments. And then here's this is the whole series, all of it. So there are 3 videos for each episode. So 1 segment, 2 segment, 3, then episode 2, 1, 2, 3, and then episode 3, 1, 2, and 3. And so this is where we're gonna start off today. So all of it needs to be organized in a way where I can go find the video that I need and then move on. This is the music that the Maddpenciler got from his producer, the music producer DJ Skillspins, and video promo raw. So this is some of the stuff that I recorded with him at Apocalypse Tattoo Studio in Buckhead, and this is the audio files for those videos, and these are the lower thirds and the title cards and credits. I created those in Photoshop, as you can see, and another behind the scenes. Wonder what this is. Why is it here? But it looks like another camera back here. I did a lot of recording. I had a lot of extra gear just recording the day because you never know when you need something, and it's it's really cool to have that stuff with you. So here we go. All right, so there it is. Let me close this a little bit tighter. Episode 3. So there it is. Episode 3, segment 1. Boom. I click and drag it in here. You can look at that. It just falls right into Premiere. I let it go and let Premiere do its thing. On the bottom right, it's going to show you some progress bar. It's actually going to tell you it's going to process. It's going to tell you how long it needs to process that video. Now, sometimes what happens, and as you can see on the left-hand side, there it is, episode 3, segment 1. and I can actually delete these other. There we go. Episode 2. Yes. Oh, yeah, it's right. And it was warning me because was using a little segment of that. Still, episode 2, delete it. Oh, here it goes. Yes. And there it is, episode 3, segment 1. And sometimes when you drag and drop that video into that timeline, it'll be missing the audio, and I'm sure there's a reason for that. I can't tell you why. And I let it go, and so that it finishes processing. Once it's done, and I see that the audio is not in there, I delete it off of this bottom right side, and then I click it over here on the left hand side because it still shows up as a part of the files for this project. I can click and drag it back into this timeline, and then it'll have the audio. So let me go ahead and click my spacebar, or actually first Control S to save. Now the spacebar.
Now I can do whatever I want to do.
All right, we're in Clip Studio Paint now. Right now, this video is selected. As you can see, there are a bunch of settings for it here on the left hand side on the top. And the first thing I'm going to look for is the audio volume, the level. I'm going to raise it up. And I think the highest it goes is 6. What does it mean? I don't know. That's just what it does. This shows that there's an audio edit happening. So there we go. Let me play now.
With the movement of your
a little louder.
The natural movement. You know, don't try to overfight it.
Like trying to move around and all that
weird stuff. And the important thing about
So now what I'm gonna look for is a snippet of this video that sounds really cool and interesting. I'm gonna copy that snippet and bring it to the very front so that I can then use it as an introduction.
I don't think the light.
Not for the ink here.
Let's go. Come on.
With the movement of your wrist, the natural movement. You know, don't try to overfight it.
Like trying to move around and all that
weird stuff. And the important thing about the rotation of the screen is that you move the artwork around. You don't move your body.
You don't right.
Move your body. Now, when you're doing tattoos, you have to.
Yeah, you can't take that arm off.
But when you're drawing on something, move that around. Yeah, move the drawing around.
Yep.
That's it. I like that. So let me make a copy. Hold on the Alt key and click and drag. And now I will automatically have 2 copies. Oops, come on back. There we go. So now I got 2. So this one, let me see, where is it? I didn't like that. Let's go back. So let me see if I can go here. That still does that. I wanted to make a copy of this video so that I can then use it how I want it. And so the best way to do that is to just go all the way over here, and let's see if it fits. Oh, it doesn't fit. So let's bring it all the way. No, it ain't. Oh, come on. It's stuck. No. Come on. There we go. That's where I'm talking about having a strong machine. And it says it's not responding, but it will respond. It just needs an extra minute. And I'm looking at the internet now. Let's see what happened. Yep, it got stuck. I'm looking at my own self over there. Come on, computer. So it's working. It's working. It's 32 gigs of RAM. I think I got 26 gigs of RAM allocated to Premiere. And that's how it's going to go. There's always going to be something that you're doing that it doesn't like. And it's going to slow down and stop. So right now, it's just trying to catch up to itself. I do not, it hasn't crashed yet. It is still working, and if I give it enough time, it'll come back. If I try to force it, then it will crash, and I'm gonna have to redo a couple of things. The good thing is that I did a Control S. Remember, that's saved. So even if it does crash, I come right back to this spot. Kind of save where you were. One other point I like to make: when it comes to machines, you want the strongest machine possible, and they make these super duper hardcore computers with tons of RAM and processing power, and that will then are made to handle this kind of work. My machines are strong enough to handle 2D artwork and visuals. not video. They're not made for video because I never really bothered to buy machines for video. They always have to be strong enough to handle Photoshop and Illustrator. And let me check on that. And it looks like the video is back. So what do we have here? Chilling. There you go. Double check anything else that looked like the message. Cool. All right. So let's get to where I was. So now what I need is this. I'm making a copy of it so that when I edit this one on the left, I still have the one on the right to get back to and use without it being cut. That's just the kind of roundabout way. All right, so this is where I wanted to end because that's where we're talking, and the point we just made was kind of cool. So now I put a cut. There's a blade on the left-hand side right here, my tools, and I just cut the part at where I want the video to cut. I select the video I want to get rid of, hit delete, and now I come back here and let me see. That was at 19 minutes and 53 seconds and 29 frames. So there we go. So what I really want, 55 seconds or maybe 5 seconds, maybe 10, 19, 55. So that's it. Right now I need to figure out what I'm going to cut into.
And the important thing about
let's go with the important thing. So I can zoom in with this little bar in the bottom.
We'll try to overfight it. Like trying to move around and all that stuff. And the important.
There we go, right there. So now I can see, when I zoom in, I can see the little waves of audio waves, and select the part that I want to focus on, and in this case, cut. So that way, that gives me like 10 seconds on the intro of the video. Click and drag, delete that, boom. Zoom out. Let's bring this video clip over to the left, because as I zoom out, I'm coming into the beginning of the show. Here it is. And that's, if that's not enough space to put that in, I can always make adjustments. Hold on. Let's actually go here. Click on that. And then click this and drag it in. There it is. There we go. Boom. Look at that. It fit. It just fit. Which is why timing is important. There we go. So that's too. I could have had it longer, but 10 seconds is good. So now that means that I need to bring. Let's see. This graphic is similar to that, and so let me get rid of that one. Bring this one in. Bring it right there. You see, now it matches up to the video, and now all of this needs to come in right here. Boom. So that's it. Here we go. Watch this. I'll say Control S. Control S, yo. Yeah.
And the important thing about the rotation of the screen.
Oh, I see.
You move the artwork around. You don't
To
move
you.
the file.
I did not like that. That did not work well. Let's go here. Grab this. That's the audio for that. So this needs to go like this. There we go. That's what we need. So we do that, and then I grab all of this. I'm kind of playing around with this. So what happened was the music was starting when we were talking, and it needs to start way after we're done talking, or at the point where we're about to be done talking, which is right around here. So this part right here needs to be by itself. So here we go. And yeah, let's play it like this first, and Control this to save.
And the important thing about the rotation of the screen is that you move the artwork around.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
To
move your
you.
body.
You don't, right.
Move your body. Now, when you're doing tattoos, you have to.
Yeah, you
Because
can't
you can't
take
let
that
it
arm off.
But when you're drawing on something, move that around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, move the drawing around.
That was cool. How it fades right down in, right? And so at this point, I do want to put a little one of those crossfades. So let's go here, effects, cross dissolve, boom. So now that's gonna dissolve. Very nice. And then let me do one here. So there's gonna be two things that happen here. One, there's a cross dissolve here, because I want it to dissolve into this, so that way it kind of fades in. You see that? Fades in. Then I also want to make sure this video file looks blue, because there's a graphic down here that's blue. This graphic is really just a field of, it looks black right here. Oh, I need to change it to the blue. There we go. Bam. Okay. And there's a color that I had in mind. I think it's a 666. Oh, that's not right. Is it 666 or is it 006699? There it is. I forget my hex color sometimes. Yeah, it does look black. All right, so let's click on that. And now what I want to do, I clicked on that video file, the little one that I cut in, and on the left hand side it says blend mode. So I'm gonna do multiply. Boom, it turns really, really blue. What if I do darken? Oof, that's terrible. What if I do over here? It was on here. Color? No. It was one of these. Did I use saturate? No, too much. It might have been the last one, luminosity. There it is. Look at that. So there we go. It might be too bright.
The important thing about the rotation of the screen is that you move the artwork around. You don't move your body.
You don't
move your body. Now, when you're doing tattoos, you have to.
Yeah, you can't take that arm off.
But when you're drawing on something, move that around. Yeah, move the drawing around.
And now it looks, there it goes. And I think I did change the blue. The blue changed. But I'm okay with it. So there it is. That's it. That's the intro. We're done with the intro. Control S. It's going to intro to the way it's supposed to. And then there. And now I'm going to, let me see how far so now I'm looking at the sound. And the sound needs to fade out right here. And so these are all fades right here. And I click and drag them. And the more you play with video, the more editing you do, the more familiar you're going to get with some of these tools. Like I said, I don't know how to do everything. I know how to do the things that I need to know to do the things that I want to do. So don't overstress yourself trying to take a whole bunch of classes and workshops. Go to a demo or two. We do them all the time. I just did a demo a month ago at the Microsoft Store. Bam! See, now I brought in the video, and let's see what it looks like.
Welcome to another episode of the BlueLines Project. My name is DTM, Delta Tango Mike. I am sitting here with the awesome, super awesome artist. I say awesome like 3 times. And just say it again. Awesome artist. Talented, the Maddpenciler. How you doing, brother?
Chilling, man. How you?
Oh, man.
That looks good. Okay. So, sorry. Let me see. Who's on the top?
I am chilly.
You chilling?
I am chilly and chilly.
All right. So let me put. Yeah. That's my name right here. That's the Maddpenciler. So let me bring that in. Is he gonna talk?
So how you doing, brother?
Chilling, man. How you?
Oh, man. I am chilly.
You chilling?
I am chilly and chilly. Like a village.
Sweatshirt over if you need it.
All right. Is it Flores? Yeah. It'll fit. All right. So let's go ahead and get going to where we left off last episode, where the map.
So I'm gonna put my name there because I'm still talking. So I'm gonna grab his and move it over. Which this says that there's another one of his. All right, so that's where he's gonna start talking.
So go ahead and show us what you're gonna do with this piece here.
Like you said, it's pretty basic. Take a picture.
With your big old iPad.
I like it too.
Yeah, I think it's huge.
It's nice.
And there you go. So now we're talking. I got a lower third for the Maddpenciler there. Done. This part is done. The intro and the way it flows. I'm okay with that little bit of piece in the very beginning. You can hear me saying something.
Welcome to another episode of the BlueLines Project.
Probably should bring that down as soon as I start talking. Little tweaks here and there, you know.
Welcome to another episode of the BlueLines Project. My name is DTM, Delta Tango Mike. I am sitting here.
I guess I should have had my name when I said on DTM, Delta Tango Mike. Yeah, but I don't want to do that because then it's too close. If I do the lower thirds right then and there, it's too close to all the other stuff. I want you to get into the mode of the show. Then we kind of throw that in there, and it's just a lower third. We already have all this text and body of the post when we do the Facebook Live or Premiere, so it's okay. Control S to save. Constantly saving. Oof. You'll get used to that constantly saving thing. All right, here we go.
Hey man, family come up, you gotta talk to them for a quick minute.
Yep. All right, cool. So we'll be right back. The Maddpenciler, the Blue Lines Project. We're gonna talk about that. What's the Blue Line Project? What is it? A project? Is it lines? Is it blue? We know it's blue. There's lines in there. But we'll talk more about that. All right, this is DTM. We'll see you in a second.
Hey.
Wow, he likes making noises. I like being quiet. Once you stop rolling, you gotta be quiet for a little bit. Let the moment fade out, because then that's when you can add something else and still keep the picture. So there it is. That's cool. It's a nice little fade out. I don't have to worry about editing anything there. I don't want to. Let's open up this zoom out so I can get the rest of my files. Bring them in. And see, the great thing is that when I worked on episode 1, I put all these things together. On episode 2, I tweaked a few little bits of it. Now that I'm on episode 3, I'm just reusing all the elements that I put together and just changing out the video. One thing we're going to do with the Maddpenciler and I is we're going to make more of these little segment videos where, hey, you're watching the Blue Lines Project type of deal. And so that'll come soon. So let's see. Let's go ahead. Why is this graphic there? I think that is how it goes. Maybe it's off. Let me put my glasses on. Yeah, there we go. So now I can see. There we go. Okay. So
There. Well, we'll talk more about that. All right, this is DTM. We'll see you in a second.
Hey.
and there it goes, the music.
Oh, hey, I know you were standing there, but stay tuned for more Blue Lines Project with the Maddpenciler. Peace.
Done. Now I am gonna notice that this blue is different, so let me find that blue. Click on that fill. It is 914. So when I said don't worry about it, it's because I know I can get to it later. So there it goes. 00914. Boom. So now it's the same tone. Look at that. It's darker. That's good. So now it matches. I was going to leave it until I noticed it is really dramatic. So I'll change my mind. Alright, so now I need to fit 2 more segments into here, and we're done with this show, and it's ready to go online. And I'm going to upload it tonight. I'm going to add all the text on it tonight, and then I'm going to set the premiere to go on at 7 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, evening. Alright, next segment. See, I'm just moving through it now. That's it. Boom. Grab that. That's the second segment in the 3rd episode. You got to name all your files. You got to stay organized, so then you can just move on through. And it's rendering down here, generating peak file. I don't know. And all this stuff I learned, as a matter of fact, the Maddpenciler taught me how to use Premiere. All this stuff I know how to do. I know how to do. I know how to do it to get what I want. All right. So it works for me. I don't have to remember names or what this tool is called or what this process is called. I don't care about that. I leave that to those people who like to book learn. Me, I'm a doer learner. Doer learner. That's it. I'm going to write that down. Doer learner. Look, Photoshop. Yeah, let's undo flatten layers. I work in all types of programs. There we go. Capitals. Doer learner. Hey, that's not how you spell learner. There it is. Doer learner. That's what I am. Control T. Resize. Boom. T-shirt. Gonna come back to that later. All right, so here we go. We got our file. Boom. So now let's see what it looks like when you come in to the next segment. And there's always going to be a little thing that I may want to change or edit or so on, but I want to play it to see what it looks like. Rolling.
We're working, and I'm actually just looking, but the Maddpenciler is working on the inking right now. Nice, careful line work.
That's all right. So let's see what I need to do. Let's bring that back some right there, because this is here, and then it changes color, so I can always adjust that there. And the music should come in when the video shows up, when you got something to look at. Plays out right on time.
And I'm actually just looking, but the Maddpenciler is working on the inking right now. Nice, careful line work. He is focused. He is not thinking. He is not talking. He is just looking at his screen, and little by little, slowly getting your. That's right.
That's good. See, so it's all right. And I think what happened with when we were filming is, number one, we had an idea of how the flow of the series was going to go in the segments. So when we hit record, the director's job is to say rolling, or since he's the one in charge, or that person's in charge of the screen where the record button goes on. So as soon as they say rolling, everybody should know now that we are recording, and everybody needs to be quiet and not move, because when you start moving, some people are sitting around and so on, and noises are being made. That's not good. You're wasting precious time and video that is going to have to get edited later. And so the great job that Matt Franklin did of Most Uniquest was that he took control of the set, and he was in charge of letting us know when we're rolling, so that we know we're on. We are now on. And there was a second or two when I had to get my composure together, because I know that I'm the host. I have to talk. I have to say something. I have to engage, and so I needed a moment to just like turn it on. But there was enough time between the rolling and talking that I can still leave that in, and that is a nice segue into the segment. But you have to think it through on what it's going to look like later, so that way you can record it like that. All right, and you'll get it once you do a lot of recordings that do not come out so well. There's gonna be a lot of recordings that in the very beginning, when you're like, what is that? And that's okay. That's how we all learn. You don't have to be perfect. You work your way to perfection. All right, here we go. This is the end. Hold up. Control S to save. I'm sitting there drawing. Oh, and I need to fix the audio, right? So there it is. 6.
This drawing and finishing off where we are, because there's a whole lot of inking that needs to happen still at this point. Going to show us whether or not.
And something that just happened right now that you might have not noticed is that as I'm leaning forward on my tablet and drawing, the sound is not picking up so well until I turn over to talk to the Maddpenciler, and then the sound picks back up and you can hear my voice clearly. And that's because of the way those microphones are. They're sitting on the table, they're right there in front of you, and they're only going to pick up when you're talking directly at those microphones. So now my method is to use lavaliers. That way they're kind of in front of your person's chest, and so if they move around a little bit and they talk this way and they talk that way, the sound, the audio still carries into the microphone. That's part of the learning. I'm learning. I'm figuring out what really works for me and what I want to do. When I'm talking to artists and people who have some kind of creativity, they're not used to being in the camera. They don't sit still. A lot of artists or people will do this or start swinging back and forth like, whoa, you know, we need a clean shot here. Hold still, stop moving. If we have beards, the beards start scrubbing against the microphone, or they start doing this thing or that thing, and it's like, calm down. Let's get you camera ready and understand what you look like on the camera and what you need to do for the camera to capture you best. And so I'm learning that process on what I need to have for some people, including myself right there. All right, so here we go.
Are you going to ink the shoulder blades, or use it? Oh, you're gonna do the color, the color itself.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that. See that how it develops to finish off today's episode. Delta Tango Mike, Maddpenciler. See you back in a second.
Yeah.
And so when we stop talking, the camera's still rolling for a few seconds, so that it can have a little bit of gap that we can then transition something else, and that something else is this. There we go. Bring it all in. Come on. Bring it in. So wherever you put the mouse and on your timeline, when you zoom in, it'll focus on that moment in the timeline. So now I can bring that in. There we go. I want to get in really tight, and boom, there it is. So let's see what happens.
Okay, we're going to talk about that. See that how it develops to finish off today's episode. Delta Tango Mike, Maddpenciler. See you back in a second.
Yeah.
And so the music should have already started. That's it. So now we need to fix that. So it looks like I'm here where it starts. There's my time on the left, 34, 34, 25, 34. So it should actually start right here at 30. And if it's 34, 34, I need to, and then the gap is here. Let's see, 34, that's where that is. That's 34, 36, that's 2 seconds. So I need to cut right there. Kind of just eyeballing it. If this was a Star Wars project, then would have to have all kinds of notes and things to pay attention to when editing, down to the minute, second, whatever. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. This one, because I say something there.
In a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that, yeah.
This is DTF. Stay tuned for more of the BlueLines Project. We'll be right back.
Boom. And now our sponsors. Velocity, word up. My man Bo. And then there's the fade out on the music. We still have the branding. And that's it. And that's where we start talking. Simple, right? Whew. Save. All right. And I think I just learned Premiere like a year ago. All right. So now I have this gap for the third segment. Let's put that there. And Control S. I think I saved, but Okay, so you're gonna get used to saving all the time. The day you lose something, oh my god, you're gonna cry. You're gonna cry. You're gonna cry. You're gonna be working on something. You're gonna be so deep into it. I'm not predicting your future or nothing. I'm just saying this is what happens. And you're 2 hours in. This is amazing. It's the best project you've ever done. And then the computer crashes. The cat walks across the keyboard. Your children pull on the cables. Something, right? And you didn't save. You didn't hit save. There's an auto save function in a lot of software. Doesn't mean it's gonna keep everything you worked on at that moment. And so you panic. You turn your machine back on, and work you did the last hour, 2 hours is gone, and you cry. And then what you go through the 7 levels of grief or stages of grief, and then you figure out, well, now I need to get back into it because somebody's waiting on this. So you try to remember every step you made and what happened, and it's never going to be exactly the same as it was when it was fresh and brand new. So you get used to Control S, Command S, Command S. All right, so let's go ahead and zoom in. This is the intro to the video. Listen, I'm at the beginning of this video.
Oh, okay, cool.
There you go. Got to get into your mode.
Yeah, let's do this.
That's only the third hour.
Back. I'm gonna show you what.
And I should have not said nothing right before.
So we're back.
There we go. I don't know why I put my hand up there. I guess that's a way to get me into that zone. Like a cat. What is this? There you go. That's kind of cool. All right. So I need to get rid of the audio that goes here. I hate to do this, but I gotta cut right there. Gotta. And I need to fix the audio and the whole video, anyways, on that segment. So I unlink. Click on that audio, boom, it's gone. This audio needs to be at 6. Boom.
So we're back. I'm going to show you a little bit.
Yeah, all right, that's it. So now I bring all of that in to here. Let's see. Right there. And now I can bring it in. Come on. There we go. You gotta go slow and take your time. All right, save, and now play.
So we're back. I'm going to show you a little bit about the end of this inking process.
Nice, done. That looks all right. Save it. Whew, we're almost done here. Okay, let's go get that back part. Bam. Bring it in. And it looks like I have, that's me, and it's at the mat. That's me again. I do need to fix those. Those are lower thirds. Sometimes I forget them. Let's leave them. Let's see, which one? This one's mine, and that one's mine also. Oh, that's Wayman. Okay, good. So that's mine. I'm sitting there talking. Is there a point where I'm just by myself now? Oh yeah. Where is that at? Is that right there? No. I am talking, but I'm not by myself. It's okay, so let's leave it there. That's the lower thirds, and then let's go all the way over here. Okay, so forget of those lower thirds. I just had to check them to see if they were matching with something, because I'm not gonna try to set up new lower thirds. Unless I need to move it. All right, so here we go. So there goes, what is that? That's us. Oh, this is a video from before. I need to get rid of that video. Boom. And then I need to select all of this. That goes here. Oh, so that was lower thirds right there. That's what it was. Okay, grab that. Look at that. Lower third, lower third. Get rid of it. Grab this, and this is it. This is how the show ends. Move that all the way to there. Boom. And I think that's a video. Yep, that is a video from the other episode. Get it out. Here we go. Yeah, I was making a little noise or motion, and it's cool. It adds a little extra character, you know. We are not machines. We are creative people. We're actually visual artists, 2D illustrators who like to create stuff. So now, why is that way out there like that? Because it ends like this. 51:38. So 38. Boom. And then that's 5 seconds. Oops, excuse me, sorry. 5 whole seconds. 38. That's 8 seconds. So let's bring this in here. Now let's fix that. Let's go here. So let's pull this. What if we pull it there? There we go. The music's on. Whatever. Boom. All right, let's bring that in. Pull that over. See that? So we go like this.
See you guys next time. See you next week. Peace out.
Takeout music. That was it. This is takeout music. All right, let me do a little cross dissolve right here. So while that's dissolving, then that comes in like that. Yep. And then there's the end. And it ends. Boom. Okay, that's the show. So let's put my marker here. Save. All right, so the export process goes like this. Export media. For some reason, if I have not clicked on the timeline window, it doesn't show up the way I want it to. I have to. The media doesn't show this thing here, the export thing. So that's why I always click it. I don't know why. Maybe something I did that wasn't right. Whatever. So here we go. Now this episode name is already here. Blue episode 3 MP4 H format H.264. I leave that alone. High bit rate. I leave that alone. I don't touch anything else here. I don't want to because I don't know what it does. And the way it works right now, the way it is right now, it works for me. So I'm good to go. I hit the Q. The only thing that I would have changed was that episode 3 part. So now it's carrying the Q. I would have changed that episode 3 part to change the name, but because I made sure that the project name was the same as in a timeline name, then the output name is the same, and that's good for me. Here's the video that I exported earlier. If I click on that, it'll show me the video. Let's look at it real quick, just because.
I think that's why I gravitated towards tattooing as well, because you get the shade. I remember when you taught me to tattoo, and I would just shade with a liner. And he was like, nah, get the shader. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And then when I finally got it, I was like, bruh,
that blue
this
is very
is the
bright.
best thing since sliced bread, man.
It is Monday, 7 o'clock. So I made that a little snippet for Instagram. All right, so now that I'm in here, when I said Q, it goes into the encoder. It all downloads as part of the Creative Cloud. So when you have download Premiere, Adobe Premiere, it's time for an update. There's then the media encoder comes with it, and this is where that discussion about paying for software and subscription becomes a little complicated, because in my case, as you can see, I use a ton of different software that's part of Adobe. So $50 a month, it works out for me. It checks out. I pay a bunch more than that for my cell phone service, a bunch more than that for my car note and for insurance. So $50 as part of my business is worth it. So here's the list of projects that I worked on today. This is the third one, episode 3, Blue episode 3, and it's already ready to go. I hit that little play button, boom, it starts, and now you're gonna see Premiere do its thing, or the Adobe Media Encoder do its thing, and it's preparing the audio, it's preparing the picture. It's going to start giving me the elapsed time that it took for the video to render, and the time remaining, how long is it going to take. It has some details as to where it's saving. Desktop TBP for the BlueLines project folder called Premiere Episodes. and format, preset, video size, blah blah blah. Some people who's gone to school and studied have figured out what those things mean, and all I know is that it works for me. It works for the content that I put on Facebook, that I put on YouTube, and so I leave it alone. There it goes, bam. It's trying to prepare. It's still doing 4 of 12, telling how far it's going to go to get there. In the meantime, we do know that at the end of this, I will have an episode right here. It says episode 3. It's going to be episode 3 down below it, because the first episode 1 is the MP4 file, which is the video file. The second one is the Premiere file. So anytime I click on that Premiere file, it opens Adobe Premiere, and I get to see everything the way I laid it out and left it. And then so then it's going to have double everything: the video file, the Premiere file. Premiere file, because it's missing the video file, the episode 3. And then there's the video file and the Premiere file. And so it's going to drop in the finished video into this folder, and then from that folder I'm going to upload to Facebook and be able to set the time to for Adobe, for the Facebook Premiere time, for Monday at 7 o'clock. All right, so that's it. That's all I have for you today. This part right here is going to be boring. It's going to take a while. It just doesn't have to work. And for those of you artists or visual artists, creative people who only have one computer, get you a second one. You need a second machine. Always need a second machine, a backup. It doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be the most high-end. It's just going to have to be something that you can leave working and then do something else on a different computer, so that you don't have to bother this computer. Right now, this computer is using all the resources possible to render this video. And even though I have OBS running, because you can see me on Facebook, it has Photoshop open, and because I was doing some editing earlier, you saw that, and it has Google Chrome open, because that's how it's going out to Facebook Live. That's the where I got the code and everything that's streaming to Facebook Live. So there's a few things running on this computer, along with the hard work that goes into rendering a 45-minute video on Adobe Premiere. And as you can see right now, it says time remaining 2 hours and 30 minutes, but it's looks like seconds. Looks, because it's going pretty fast: 16, 15, 14, 13. So it's really 2 minutes and seconds. I don't know if that's really what it says, what it means, but on this side, so far it's been 3 minutes since it started rendering. So according to the numbers and the way it's working, in 2 minutes from now, it should be done. I don't know. That could work. That might be. In any case, that's all I have for you today. Please tune in and follow on YouTube, Vector Maestros. I'm going to make sure I include the links on the description of this video. Make sure you check out my work, Delta Tango Mike. It is my website, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. Delta Tango Mike. And then I've got more videos on the process of the art business at Art is King, and on YouTube, Art is King, and on Facebook is artistking_ATL. That's on Twitter and Instagram also. But Vector Maestros is where I put in a lot of digital art, a lot of process when it comes to the artwork and design with Adobe Illustrator and Sketchable app on Surface machine. Of course, Illustrator would be on any machine that I can get a hold of. I have several, including Macs and PCs. So that's all I have for you today. Please leave a comment, leave a question, say something. Let me know how I'm doing and what you're interested in seeing. I'm going to continue to share as much as possible. So subscribe, find me, tag me, and let's stay connected. All right. This is DTM. If I had some things on OBS, then I would have brought them in.